August 2nd, 2018. Can you believe it? Tonight on the docket, folks, we have NFL football ready to go and underway tonight. The season. Hey, look, opening day today to me. It doesn't matter if it's a preseason game and we might see the starters for a half of a snap tonight. It doesn't matter. We should all celebrate the start of football season that does start tonight. Welcome to the show, folks. I'm your host, Donnie Rightside. Today, as I said, it is August 2nd, so we are climbing the charts there to get to NCAA football and NFL football, but it should be a lot of fun just to see football back in our lives tonight. Thank you for tuning into the channels here at sportsbookreview.com. As usual, Big Man on campus having some computer issues. We'll hope to get him in the next few minutes, but we'll go over and clear up some business arrangements here for us here. Once again, give us a follow on the channels at SBR Sports Picks on Twitter. If you haven't done so yet, you see that subscribe button right now that you're watching on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button every single time we go live here on the channels. You will receive a notification. Come into the chat box and say hello. Looks like the winner of the chat box today is Matthew Varnum with the first good morning of the day. Alex, welcome in. Barry, welcome in. We'll let everybody filter in. We'll have some fun here. And if you have not done so yet, you're looking for a good book, you need a good book out there, folks. Just under that SBR logo right there, if you're watching through YouTube, right underneath is Bovada. Check out the site. Look, if you are a dog player, you're going to get some good lines. If you're the guy that says, you know what? I don't want to take 6. I would like 6.5. Bovada's going to be that book for you. Fast payouts out there. Good interface that you like to use. An updated version of that. And again, when you're heading into football season, you can never have too many books out there. Support the good people of Bovada out there. We are sponsoring them this week, giving them a shout out there. They're promoted Sportsbook of the Week from the right side of campus. Check out Bovada. Once again, folks, welcome in there. OG, Guan, Jason, Ron, Giorgio. And yes, look at the face, little face emoji right there. The NFL, can you believe the NFL's back here today? It's amazing, man. It's amazing. And without further ado, folks, look at that. Just right in the show. He's ready. Maybe he got a nice little, if he saw the video posted that he had the other day working out with his trainer, maybe he was a little bit late from his new workout. New you, new me, new big man, the big man. Welcome into the show.
Donnie, how are you?
Hey, man, doing good. I see you got the Eagles paraphernalia on. Got a little Eagles shirt on yesterday, fresh and ready to go from training camp yesterday. I know you guys held it down on the show yesterday on the roundtable. I had a nice little vacation day. Back in the saddle, Jeff. Football's here.
Yeah, football is here. I mean, I won't be betting it. And if you're betting on preseason NFL Game 1, Hall of Fame game, listen, I bet on a lot of stuff. Okay, I do. I mean, I bet on, but then again, you know what? I'm not going to throw stones. I bet on certain things that might be looked at as well, I don't know why you bet on that. Summer league and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, there's just so many players on a football team, man. You never really know who's going to play. I mean, at least with like big three, the 5 people that are going to play. It's like some NFL. It's like, what are there, 90 players on the roster right now? You're literally getting guys off the street that haven't played since college that are playing. So, yeah, look, I mean, if you're playing tonight, good luck. I won't be with you. I won't be with you the entire preseason. But you know what? It's nice to turn on your TV and see football. That's, it's not a recording. It's not a game from last year. It's real. It's going on, and that's cool.
No, I hear you on that. You get that first taste of football. At least back in the day, for the most part, I'm talking about like in the 80s when there's a preseason game, the guys actually played because you didn't have these extensive offseason workouts like they do now and all these collective bargain agreements where you can only hit once a week and you can only have like 12 padded practices during the season, Jeff. I remember getting my first taste of preseason football back at Veteran Stadium, sitting in the 700 level for Game 1. One of my favorite players in the NFL, Jeff, Dan Marino, and the Miami Dolphins came in Game 1 to face Randall Cunningham of the Eagles. And I looked at my dad when the game started, and I said, Dad, Cunningham's not there, and neither is Dan Marino. What's going on? So I got my first taste of how useless the preseason is. But it's football. They're running around in pads. Just gets you excited. I always like the first game, Jeff, the Hall of Fame game, just to get the juices flowing. And then they take like 2 or 3 snaps, and I'm like, all right, I'm done with this game already.
Yeah, listen, I'll be honest with you, Donnie, and this is the God's truth. I won't watch a minute of this game. I'll be honest with you. I know people are excited about it. Listen, I've said before, and I'll say it again. NFL's fun to bet on. If you know a lot about it and that kind of thing. And look, I love my Eagles, but you know better than me. Donnie's the NFL guy here. I enjoy it. It's nice to watch. If it's on, I'll turn it on. But I generally don't change my life to watch the NFL. I know a lot of people do. I don't. I'm more of a college guy, as many of you know, but NFL is cool to keep up with. Maybe from a weekly perspective. Donnie's the guy that's going to handle that though, and even he doesn't watch this, so uh, maybe we know where we're at with it. But we'll see what we got with it anyway. A lot to do here today on the show. Let's get into some headlines, Donnie. We're a bit late here as we roll in here. We'll start out with J.R. Smith. What is J.R. Smith up to again? I mean, this guy is always up to something here. According to the NYPD, he's under investigation after a fan tried to take a picture with him. He stole, basically took the phone and threw it into a construction site. I mean, what is this guy's issue? I mean, look, you're in the public eye, you're famous, you're in the biggest city in the world. People are going to come up to you. I mean, this is bush league behavior by J.R. Smith. I've always liked J.R. He's been in the league for what, 15 years. He's had some trying times in the NBA. As soon as last year. But what is up with this behavior?
Yeah, I know it's the whole cell phone technology world. Even remember back in the day, Jeff, when Jason Worth was still in the Phillies. I mean, one of the most curmudgeon guys out there in public. But even he, on occasion, you'd get callers in and say, "Hey, look, we saw Jason leaving the club, or he's out having dinner with his family or whatever." And if you had the cell phone out, he would tell you, he said, "Look, man, put the cell phone away. Just come over and talk to me. Let's have a conversation." Sometimes just get a little bit. I mean, who knows? Maybe Jeff. Maybe the Henny was flowing. It's the off season. You're trying to relax. Maybe the guy was harassing him a little bit out there. But you should never retort because it's never going to end good on your side, is it, Jeff? The public's never going to go, "Ha ha, good for Jr. throwing that phone." No, because the lawyer's going to be calling the next day, right?
Yeah, I mean, and look, I mean, most people like. For instance, if there's a certain situation, and let's say I see J.R. Smith, I'm not one to run up and like take a picture with people like this. I don't, I'd much more like say hello to the guy, hey, what's up, J.R., because let's be real, Donnie. Like when you take a picture of something, right? How many times like you take pictures of something and then 6 or 8 months later, your phone runs out of gigs or whatever it is, or like you could take a lot of pictures. You go back
Yeah.
and look at your pictures and be like, what did I really take this picture for? Like, really? Like, so I take a picture of J.R. Smith, like, and I'm not blaming the fan here. I mean, fans are fans; they're gonna do what they got to do. But, in the day and age of where we are with phones and stuff, bit of bush league behavior here by Jr. I mean, take the picture. I know he's probably drunk or you didn't want to do it. I get it, but look, if you don't want to do it, don't go out. And if you do want to go out, wear a hood. Wear some kind of something console your face so you don't see your face. I don't know what to say. Jared's gonna have to pay something back here. Looks like that kid's gonna get a nice new phone.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, just the whole it comes with the territory, right? If you want to make, 10, $15 million a year and you want to be out in the public spotlight, you're going to get that, Jeff. Why can't we be a little bit more incognito? A little bit of New Jersey news yesterday, Jeff, from Monday afternoon. One Al Pacino rolled down to the Ocean City boardwalk, had a couple slices at Manco, and nobody even noticed him, Jeff, till he was on his way out and damn near in his car. If you keep a low profile out there, I guess you can get away. I mean, Al Pacino, one would think, Jeff, you're walking down the Ocean City boardwalk and you see Al walking by, you would know who it is. But hey, if you're not bringing Donnie, a lot of attention to yourself, you can get by.
It's funny. The pizza guy that he took that picture with, I've seen that guy before, Mac Mango. I actually always mistake him for you. You look dead like that dude, honestly. I was going to post that picture and be like, I didn't know Donnie worked at Mac and Manco now. Yeah, I seen that guy. Yeah, I saw that. He looked just like you. I was wondering if that was you. But yeah he did it. But right up, I mean, I don't know. Some of these people though these fans are shitheads. And who knows what the kid said? It's always the kid's always the victim, right? It's always him. But we'll see what goes on here. Let's get into it, Donnie. Urban Meyer, obviously the big news. Listen, we're not going to bore you with more Urban Meyer news. Everyone knows what went on with Urban Meyer. Obviously, if you're living under a rock, Urban Meyer basically concealed or supposedly concealed that Zach Smith, one of his assistant coaches, basically he was told that he beat up his wife. Urban basically didn't do anything about it, kind of swept it under the rug a bit. And now Urban is being outed by, I got to tell you, Donnie, terrific reporting by Brett McMurphy. I mean, and I said it last night on Twitter. I mean, this is the talent acquisition that ESPN is missing. They had Brett McMurphy. They fired him. Now he's doing this for someone else. really kind of proves their incompetency in hiring people or letting people go. But I mean, great reporting here. You have to ask yourself, I don't really know how Urban Meyer can escape this. I mean, especially if this stuff comes out that he did know. Um, we see far too much. These coaches know way too much. I share a birthday with Urban Meyer, Donnie. One thing
Mhm.
though I don't share is his morality. I would obviously take these different ways, but where do you think Urban Meyer goes from here? He places on administrative leave. I'm not sure how he really comes back from this.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting, Jeff, because football is king in Ohio, right? And Ohio State is king of the entire. Forget about the Cleveland, Browns, and forget about the Cincinnati Bengals. If you ask, probably fans across the state, who would they want to win more than any other team? Even if you lived in Cleveland, it's probably damn near the Ohio State Buckeyes. He's a legend already for coming in, straightening out the program, taking down some national titles. But this isn't a surprise, Jeff. Everywhere Urban Meyer goes, you have to know the baggage that comes on with him. You will win. There's no doubt about it. He will recruit. He will slay it in recruiting. But there's also going to be some skeletons in the closet that are going to come out that you're going to have to take the good with the really bad. The only problem I have here with this, Jeff, is, it's one thing if you're hiding the athletic director, or maybe it's Urban Meyer himself. But the fact that you have and it's not a one-time thing where it slips under the rug. Like, you have a serial wife beater as one of your coaches. And from looking at the fans of Ohio State, just going through Twitter, they seem to can't even understand why this guy's even on the active coaching staff anyway, because the development of the wide receivers hasn't been that good. So one guy that he keeps, and I believe Urban Meyer is known since 2009, but my always fit, Jeff, this comes right back to Philadelphia again with the whole Colangelo situation. Right now, they're in a room, and don't get this twisted here. I think it's Gene Smith, the AD for Ohio State. They're in the same room with Urban. They are concocting a scheme right now with a wife that's going to say similar to Brian Colangelo. The wife knew. She didn't tell me at all. So you're telling me for, damn near 10 years that you already knew the guy was a wife beater, and you're close with your wife, and she's sending you pictures at night of how badly she got her ass kicked, and you're not sharing it with your husband who's on the coaching staff. And everybody, Jeff, again, seems to know what's going on except Urban Meyer.
Yeah, listen, according to what I've heard, Urban Meyer and his wife are obviously like many couples. I mean, they're very, I think he pretty much they do everything. From what I understand, she's very integral in his life, all sorts of stuff.
Exactly.
It's hard to believe that she didn't know about this. But again, you're right. It all comes down to him playing stupid and act like he didn't know. And I don't know. I don't know how you can really fake text messages, but I guess we'll see. It doesn't look like this is going to go away. And yeah, again, football is king, but you know, they did place him
Now,
on
you know what?
administrative leave. At
Yeah.
least they did
You know,
something,
you know the
right?
interest the interesting thing about this, Jeff, is when you because there's always underlying situations, right? So you say to yourself, you're Urban Meyer, you're making you're the highest paid, I believe, still technically right now until that extension kicks in for Saban, the highest paid coach in all of the land out there. So you say, why would you cover for initially a graduate assistant that you brought on in 2009? Beat his girl, I guess it was girlfriend at the time, and she was pregnant or whatever. I saw Guam post that in there. And then go over the years. You know what this leads me to believe, Jeff? Because if it was so simple, if you're the head coach, you go, hey, bro, you're fired, and I'm going to put you on blast to show you that we don't get down like this. But one would lead to believe, Jeff, that there's some underlying stuff like, hey, I'm going to keep you on staff, and I'm going to continue to keep you on because you got a lot of dirt on me. You got a lot of bags transferred for guys out there. You got a lot of cover up with the police with a little bit of hush money on some of my players who got arrested. So if you just leave him out to dry, Jeff, and he has nowhere to go, he squeals to the police, squeals to the press. Look what Urban made me do. This is why I was still on the staff. So it just leads me to believe I'm always big on the conspiracy where it's a little bit too, you wouldn't cut a grad assistant known for beating his pregnant girlfriend or wife at the time. He's got to have some dirt on you, man.
Yeah, exactly. Big man and Donnie, don't J.R. Smith anyone at IPC.
No, we're
Well,
all about
I
the fame.
mean,
We're all about the fame.
listen, I mean, I'm not going to tell you if a human being just come up to me and, slaps me in the face, I'm not going to do nothing about it. But yes, I will not
Well, I
do
mean, Jared
anything
didn't
like
get slapped, did he? Didn't he just throw the
no,
phone?
no, of course not. I'm just saying, don't take it that far.
I don't know. I don't
Um,
advise slapping anybody, Jeff.
well, I don't advise anyone to do a lot of things in the world, but they do them. Who's hyped for NFL tonight? Oh yeah,
Oh,
we can't wait,
goodness.
Michael. We are just counting down the hours till
Oh, yeah.
NFL begins. Just cannot wait. The suspense is just killing me. I can't wait.
Nice
Um,
Thursday night action game, Jeff. They're going to roll it out. If you remember how excited we were for football, what was it 1, 2, 3 years ago, where the field had the wrong paint on it, so they just canceled the game straight up. So yeah, we're about as excited as that.
God, who cares, man? Who cares? Hall of Fame
Everybody.
game. It's so meaningless. It's not even funny. Helmet rule on display tag. Good point. That's a good point by you.
That's
Throwing that
right.
out. But that'll be interesting to see. There will be some helmet rules on display. That's going to be interesting to watch. That might be something to keep your eye on.
Yes.
That might be the only
Yes.
thing to keep your eye on this.
No, you're 100% correct, because if there's something to like, I always like the new, and also Jeff, the new catch rule. Say what you want about the like. I'm a strict, like, I watch a ton of football over the years, and the catch rule to me was the easiest rule to decipher. You're looking at the Des Bryant catch in Green Bay. It clearly wasn't a catch. You're looking at the Super Bowl with Zach Ertz when he dove in the end zone. That was clearly a catch. If you're looking at the Jesse James play for the touchdown that wasn't, where he caught the ball one, they reached over and fumbled, that was clearly not a catch in that football game. Now I'm going to have to go through the rules all over again and watch it systematically and break it down. What's a fumble and what's a catch right now? Because that's also going to be wild as well. As awful as the catch rule was in the NFL, for me, it was crystal clear on what a catch and not a catch was, what a fumble, what a fumble was not. It's going to be interesting to see early along, because people are going to lose their absolute. I mean, Jeff, let's just say 3rd and 15. You're about to get a stop and get off the field. You throw a little short 2-yard slant pass over the middle, right? And they say the defender came in and lowered his head to make the tackle for a 3-yard gain. It's a 15-yard penalty. People are going to lose their freaking minds, man.
Yeah, well, they got to get that right. I mean, and that's why they're doing it now, as opposed to waiting. I mean, again, Donnie, I mean, this is never going to get right. I mean, we still don't know what a catch is in the NFL. I don't know. I don't know how to approach this. Uh, I guess we'll see. Isn't there a lot of new refs this year too? I read that somewhere.
It's I mean, again, in the NFL that likes to change rules, Jeff, damn near like every. And also, you know what else you want to see too, Jeff? Look, you know what? I'm actually hyping myself up a little bit more for this game than I should be. How about the new kickoff rules there, where you can no longer get a running start? Maybe if you don't kick it in the end zone anymore, and now they don't have that extra 5-yard head start, can you get more of a return? There's going to be a lot of stuff that you have to sit before putting. Look at this, Jeff. Some people tonight, let's get to the crux of it, right? Some people tonight, Jeff, are going to put money on a game where you're not even sure, A, who's going to play in the game, and B, how the rules even work. Can you imagine a new sport coming out like, we're going to have Spaceball tonight? And people are like, yo, you know what? Milwaukee -3 tonight in Spaceball. And I'm saying, do you know who's playing? No, I don't. Do you know the rules of the game? No. Do you even know, like, what type of. No, I don't even know. I'm just going to bet the game. Isn't that what it's like tonight?
I just want action. Yeah,
Yeah,
listen, and
action.
that's where I comment with, like, people say, like, well, you bet on NBA Summer League. Well, yeah, I mean, but I generally have an opinion on how those kids are going to play. I don't know, like, other than like the I don't know what, the 20, 25 people that play regularly, which they're not even going to play really. I don't know that the other 70 people on the team really. So, and again, like Donnie said, I don't know the rules either. The rules are totally different. I don't know how they're going to work out. Big man, what team are you betting on? Ravens or Bears? Um, Michael, I'm not betting on either. I'm not betting on the game. But I hope and wish you luck. What else do we have here? Um, a lot of baseball talk, which we'll get into here in 1 second. But yes, if you're betting on the game tonight, good luck to you.
Hmm?
Who's even playing? Oh, Ravens and Bears. There we go. Ravens and Bears are playing.
Jeff, I got the
Uh,
lines. Pinnacle's at 2.5. Chris is at 2.5. Five Dimes at 2.5. So pretty much across the board, and a 33 as the total. So 33 is the total. So we're going to get some real exciting football when the totals are 33.
there are touts who are selling $100 packages for preseason. Um, yeah, I mean, there are touts that sell esports packages. Everybody's trying to get a leg up. But listen, I mean, I sell picks for, or I'll put out picks for, MLS All-Star games. I guess some people are, have things that they enjoy betting on, and they feel like they have an edge in preseason. I don't know that I see it, but I guess they feel like they have it. Let's move on, Donnie, to our MLB segment and get into MLB. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here
Hmm.
in this segment. And I think if you know me, you know where I'm going. I'm about fucking tired of Sonny motherfucking Gray and his fucking antics, not only on the mound but off them. I'm sick of this fucking guy. I'm sick of his bullshit pitching. I'm sick of his bullshit stare. I'm sick of his bullshit smile after he comes off the fucking mound. What the fuck's that all about? You get fucking shredded by a team that's going to lose 110 games this year, and you come off the mound smiling. What the hell's that all about? You don't fucking do that in New York. You can go down and do it in fucking Tennessee or Kentucky or whatever fuck you live, but you don't do that here. You're on a real fucking baseball team that's trying to win games, and you don't pitch like that and come off the mound looking like an asshole. Like you just left a bar or something. What the hell is that all about? This guy's been brutal since he came over here, and I'm fucking sick of it. Keep him out of the fucking rotation and send him to fucking Staten Island to get his fucking pitching right, because I'm sick of seeing this little prick on the fucking mound. This kid gives up 7 runs yesterday against the goddamn Orioles, a goddamn AAA lineup with one good player in it. I'm sick of seeing this guy, and I'm sick of his bullshit. Get the hell out of here, Sonny Gray. I'm sick of looking at you.
Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to do or prove, but I mean, sometimes when things are going bad for you, you try to just like laugh it off or just, maybe somebody was giving him the business. But Jeff, the one thing I don't advise, especially in New York City, you're getting paid a good amount. You're going to be, the Red Sox are on deck. You're trying to get a little bit of momentum before you go in that series, Jeff. Coming off the field, coming off the pitching mound, Jeff, after, Girardi, I'm still saying it, after the manager comes out and yanks you out of the game, giggling, laughing, and keying out on that mound, Jeff. Not really a good look for Yankee fans, is it?
No, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic, and it's a sick thing to look at. I'm about fucking tired of Aaron Boone too. I'm about sick of his ass also. He's fucking idiots. And no, I didn't have any money on the game. I'm a Yankee fan, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this bullshit. Bring up fucking Sheffield. All right, I'm sick of looking at Sonny goddamn Gray. Fuck off,
Jeff.
Jeff,
you can't start the clock. You're not allowed to start the clock in Major League Baseball. So,
well, I am. Get the hell out of here, Sonny Gray. Beat it. Let's move on here to the next one where I won't be as adamant and mad. Houston wakes up. They put up 8 runs, Donnie, and it's about time for the Astros. Finally put up some runs yesterday, and get off the schneid. I mean, they had not played well. I think they had lost 5 of 7 or 6 of 8, something like that. Now they salvaged the series, went 2 of 3. Now they head off to LA. This should be a good series. Astros Dodgers over the weekend.
Yeah, no, we'll see if they get back. The good thing about, again, Major League Baseball making that change up to the rule, it's only a 10-day deal as opposed to 15. So we'll see how quickly. I haven't backtracked or take a look, but I don't know how close Correa is actually to coming back. I know he's doing a lot more stuff than he was doing previous before the All-Star break, but we know Altuve's still there. We'll have to see when he comes off the DL, but I assume he's still going to be out for at least a couple days. And that's not a great-looking lineup, Jeff, especially now you transfer that over to a National League ballpark where now you have to bat the pitcher. So they are quite pedestrian, but nice to see them get off. It's good that at times, Jeff, where you got to lean on other players in your lineup to hold down the fort in the 3-hole, the 4-hole before the big bangers come back that are used to being there, the all-stars, the all-pros, so to speak, getting ready for that playoff run. So might be a little bit of a, pearl out there that you're trying to look and say, you know what? Let's see if these other guys can sink and swim when it's all on them, because when we get back the Altuves of the world and the Correas of the world, maybe we'll be able to launch and get after it again. I actually like the fact that some of the other guys are going to have to be leaned on here to get some W's for the Houston Astros.
Cole Hamels was terrific last night. He knows the NL, Donnie, doesn't he? Maybe it was just the AL that was hurting him. He comes out and really impressive last night. Doesn't give up a run over 5 innings. Shuts down the hot Pirates. Cubs win. Nice start for Cole.
Yeah, Kingham was on track, it seemed like, for 100 pitches in the first inning, maybe getting yanked in that early hook. I mean, he was terrible. But the one thing you always like out of a pitcher, Jeff, if you're Cole Hamels, you come out after a nice 4-0 lead, you want to hold it down. And he immediately got in trouble, got a run put up him in the bottom of the first inning, a couple base runners. But after that, really settled in. And I guess, Jeff, if you just take, Corey Dickerson out of the lineup for Pittsburgh, It's just a broken junk jalopy out there of an offense. It's really weird how Pittsburgh can go and roll, and then all of a sudden you take a guy or two that's a little bit banged up here. Because if you remember at the time, Jeff, I was laughing at the lineup when they took out Dickerson and Marte. Both were injured at the time. Dickerson ended up going on the DL, but Marte only missed like a game or two with a wrist injury, and they completely fell off the map. And it looks like they're still trying to find that basis back in order to get Dickerson back in the lineup leading off. So we'll see what you get of the Pittsburgh Pirates. But no, you're right. Whenever you come to a new team there and you have your new teammates, and look, Cole Hamels been around a long time. It doesn't have to impress anybody, but it's always nice to go on the road in the division and pick up a big win where you pitched well and you say, hey, guys, look, I'm going to help you down the stretch here.
Yeah, you'd hope. And Donnie, we never talked about this, but I wanted to get your opinion quick, just 2 minutes here, not long. Alex Rodriguez was under fire, not really under fire, but the agent for you wasn't happy with comments Alex made on the broadcast on Sunday about basically he got wind that certain people in the Cubs organization are quote unquote sick and tired of waiting around for Darvish to get healthy, and that he ain't never going to come back. Is it Alex's place to give that info out? Because, look, I know you're not a big fan of that broadcasting crew. I didn't really understand it. I feel like, I kind of sold it that I feel like, the reporters should be giving that info out. But I guess Alex at this point is a reporter, isn't he?
Yeah, I actually kind of like it because usually when you get the national broadcast, it's just one big happy kiss fest out there that every single person that comes up to the plate, every single person that comes into the game pitching is the world's greatest guy with a backstory of when he was 8 years old and he had 19 strikeouts in one game, or when he turned 13 years old in between pitches that he was helping an old lady across the street. So I like to see him mix it up and give out information that they probably weren't. But I always like to get back to the A-Rod point, which is it's really interesting to me, Jeff. A-Rod, one of the all-time scumbag players, bad locker room guys, juice head, wanting to sue the New York Yankees and baseball, who, again, if you're a Yankee fan, Derek Jeter even hated A-Rod himself. How this guy is still in the limelight at this point and seems to be accepted at this point. I mean, he was one of the all-time punk cheaters, and somehow he's the authority now in the booth on Sunday Night Baseball. It's amazing that happened.
It is interesting. I mean, Barry Bonds was pretty much banished from the league.
Yes, Barry Bonds and A-Rod are damn near the same person, except
Mark
one actually
McGwire
wants to talk. Exactly. I don't like. Where did A-Rod get a pass when Yankee fans didn't even want him on the Yankees when he was there?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, towards the end of his career, I was a bit sick of him, frankly. But yeah, I mean, I do get sick of him fucking parading around like he's God's gift to Earth. I mean, he probably is, but again, I mean. Listen, I got to give him some respect, though. I mean, when you're fucking J-Lo every night, I got to give you some love. But this might be the ultimate ridiculous comment of the world, Donnie. People put J-Lo on some fucking pedestal. She's hot, but she's not. Like, listen, it's just me. Maybe I'm
for longevity. I mean, what is she like? 45 years old. Yeah. I mean, I guess that goes a long way there. It's like you could take a picture of J Lo. It seems like in 2005 and 2018, you can't even tell the difference.
Like, not for nothing, bro. I've seen Cuban chicks, Puerto Rican chicks around where I live that are 10 times hotter than her. That's just me, but I don't know. Maybe I'm off on that comment. I don't know. And I might be shredded for this, but whatever. Mets, Donnie, somehow can't hit Tommy Malone. What a surprise. Yeah. And, all this talk I had about Sonny Gray, and then I think of, like, Met fan, and I think of myself, what a sad disgrace. I mean, not after you give up 25 runs the night before, which, by the way, I was on the Mets in that game. I'll admit it. Again, I thought it was a great spot for the Mets. Nats obviously looked to be sellers at the deadline. I thought it could go one of two ways. It could either be good for the team, and it was a way to get them motivated, or they would just hang their head like they normally do. But hey, at least I knew it was a loss pretty quickly. Yeah, Mets,
yeah, but Jeff, is it? I mean, there's words circulating around the underground markets that you indeed had a lightning bet on the Mets in that game, and now you're on the move.
Yeah, that's.
Who had Jeff? Can you imagine right now? You put a lightning bet in on the Mets, and you got swept up by like 20 runs.
Well, I'll say this: most people, for instance, and I'll say this: most lightning bets you can only do for football. They don't really allow for anything else. At least
Like
the book,
I
the one book
got
I
the
have
under
does.
8, and it ends up with like 30 runs. Oh man.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly. But the Mets go down, no surprise there. They can't hit Tommy Malone. And Oakland keeps piling up wins. Um, I'm still waiting for Oakland to get shredded 7 in a row, but um, they're not. They get swept by Colorado, come back and play well, back at home.
Yeah, they hit, man. Jeff, they hit. They're young. They have one of the better third basemen in baseball, defensively fielding. I mean, they're a lot of fun to watch. And you always know me, Jeff, coming in with the whole trig stuff. As you know me, Oakland was always because being gamblers here, Jeff, we're East Coast guys. You're a Yankees fan. Most of the time they play at 7 o'clock. Same thing with the Phillies, but we're still gamblers. So you have those 2 or 3 late West Coast games on, and Oakland always pops up with nobody in the stands. And, I always love the uniforms. The combinations are great. Always rooted for them because they were always the underdog, it seems like. But now sort of turning that leaf, didn't make a ton of moves there, but I love the fact that they bolstered the bullpen because if those young arms, which do have talent for Oakland, can maybe give you that good effort heading down the stretch, that bullpen's going to take care of you, and they're going to hit. So you're right, piling up the W's. I still think they're going to be short. Obviously, it's tough being in a division, Jeff, where you have the Seattle Mariners and the Houston Astros to maybe fight through and win the division or even get a wild card. I still think it's going to be tough, but future looks decent for Oakland as long as they don't turn into a Ponzi scheme like the Rays and the Marlins seem to do every year.
Dottie, who you taking? Heidi Klum or J-Lo?
I mean, Heidi Klum's really old now, though. I mean, I'm probably still taking J-Lo at this point.
Heidi Klum's 5 years younger than J-Lo.
Yeah, but she doesn't look like it, though.
Okay, so you're taking J-Lo.
Yeah, like the longevity of J-Lo, whoever her doctor is or whatever skin cream she uses, or maybe it's just the
Yeah.
Latino genes. You tend to stay younger, it seems like. That seems to
Yeah.
be working out well for her. Now, if you're asking like Heidi Klum, Jeff, in like 2003, well, then that 2003 J-Lo, 2003 Heidi Klum, that's a different story. But if we're talking right now, still got to go J-Lo.
See, I think Heidi Klum looks terrific. I think she looks great. I'll tell you what, though. Give me Lindsay Palas any day over J-Lo. I'm good. I'm good. Now, settle down, Blake
Oh,
Kersey. I'm just asking.
yeah.
I didn't say who I'd pick there. Who you taking there, Donnie? Palas against J-Lo.
Oh, yeah, I think it's the palest girl by far at this point,
Settle down,
You like
Teddy
some
B.
volume.
Nobody.
You like some volume.
What?
You like some volume in certain areas,
I mean,
So.
these guys act like I don't give a shit at what she dances like. We're looking at her looks, bro. That's all we're saying here. And I didn't say I like Klum. I'm just picking. I just for some reason saw her on the internet and I picked her. But yes, I would pick J Lo as well. But I'm a big Klum fan. I like older women, so I like Klum. All right, Mike. Thanks, Mike. Let's move on. Subject MLB today. Everybody has an opinion on the internet. Donnie, let's move on. Where are we going in MLB? Let's start there.
Yeah, see, we got here. Let's go a little Brewers Dodgers last night, Jeff. Team launch angle with a walk-off home run last night against that Brewers pen. We're going to get back to some action today. Let me pull up some numbers here. Chasing versus Kershaw, Jeff, 961, 962, 69% of the wagers early coming in on Kershaw and the Dodgers. You got to look, man. Milwaukee's a good ball club. You seem to think they're always going to be in the game with A, their offense, and B, their bullpen if they can just get some good pitching out there, Jeff. You're going to get a number of plus 182 at Pinnacle, plus 166 at Chris, plus 170 at Intertops. It looks like maybe Pinnacle just moved some of their numbers out there, but Kershaw's still opening up, as that old school Kershaw there, almost 2-1 or higher at home. But this isn't like the Tampa Bay Rays on the road or the Cincinnati Reds or what have you. This is the Brewers here we're talking about.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I'm a big Chaseen fan. You look at last night, your Brewers jump out to a lead, they lose it. Big win for the Dodgers. This is tough because I love Kershaw too. I'll tell you what, this is the last time, and I mean it, going under in this game. I'm taking the under. I'm doing it. I'm
in the Brewers. Yeah.
Listen, a good better doesn't just come off stuff because it doesn't work. I still am going to stick to the script. I'm going to go under again with this. Brewers have hurt me a couple times this year betting unders, but they're not good against left-handed pitching. Only hitting 235. This is one of the better lefties in our game, obviously. I'm going to hope that Chaseen can keep the Dodgers at bay. Chaseen's kind of been one of those guys where he's given up 3 runs, but you look at lately, I mean, last 3 starts, he's only given up 3 earned runs over 18 innings, so he's been very good. Get 2 good bullpens kind of waiting in the wings here. Um, I'm going to go back to the well. I'm going to go under the number.
Yeah, a little bit of information. If you're just taking a look at some advanced numbers there on the season, Kershaw at home, Jeff, xFIP 3.11, which is really good. Chasing a 4.71 in his road splits, the home splits going after. So one would think that you'd have the pitching advantage there. But if we're looking at like weighted on base average, Jeff, both of these guys, awesome. 289 for Kershaw, Chasing 291. That's not batting average. That's weighted on base average. So if you're looking at like a 320 as being league average or higher, both of these guys dealing out there. So you probably should be leaning, if you're leaning anything, on the under, but we've seen it before. But look, this is after the deadline now. You said, all right, that Brewers bullpen is awesome. They loaded up on the bullpen again. You say, you know what? Once that Dodger bullpen comes around, they added arms in the bullpen, and you're getting 2 decent starters out there. So if the home run balls aren't flying tonight, Jeff, one would think they would struggle, but I know you've been there in like a 4-1 game with the Brewers, and all of a sudden it goes over in the 8th inning out of nowhere.
Yeah, they've been tough. I mean, there have been some real good ones, and then 8th or 9th inning, there's 3-run home run. It puts it over the number. Blake Kersey, you're saying that you thought that you heard that I said Kiara Mia is hot. She is. Uh, I think she's sexy as hell. I'm a fan of Kiara Mia. That might be not your type, but I like those kind of trashy women, frankly. But let's get off this subject, people. I know it's fairly interesting, but I'm going to stop it. I like Kiara Mia. All right, I'll be honest. I like big. I like that. That's my type. I like the black hair and skin. I like that. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. But again, Donnie, where do we go to the shore in the summer?
The Jersey Shore.
Exactly. We're just built for it. That's what we like. Let's go to the next game, Donnie.
CC's on the mound, and this is the series that I guess Yankee and Boston fans wait for a few times a year. You're going to have it. The first place Boston Red Sox versus the New York Yankees. Sabathia's going to take them out versus Johnson. Battle of 2 lefties. Well, you can decipher which one is better. We'll take a look at some numbers in just a few moments. 58% of the tickets, Jeff, are going to back the first place Boston Red Sox. Line opened up, Jeff. Slight favorite to Boston, 116, 110 in that area. Now bet down to around minus 105 at a lot of spots out there. So some good money coming in here on the New York Mets. Getting a look at some advanced numbers. Johnson's home splits with xFIP 4.31, CC on the road 4.77. So not that good. But if you're looking at some weighted on bases where they can hold the players down, 306 for Johnson. If we take a look at CC, 327. So not too bad. And hey, when both of these offenses get it going, it's pretty impressive. Both bullpens are decent. Should be a good one. And from looking at the lines makers out there, Jeff, looks like they're expecting a good one with about a pick 'em game, so to speak.
Yeah, look, I hate to do this, but I would take the Red Sox. Again, anytime I can get them at home at a near pick 'em, I'm going to take them. I mean, it's just going to happen. I don't care who they're playing. It's a bet that I'm going to make. And now that they're playing a guy named CC, I'm even more inclined. CC's not pitching well right now. This Yankee lineup's going through a bit of some turmoil. This team's going through a bit of turmoil. I'm just really at that point in the season where they are struggling a bit. I like the Red Sox here. Brian Johnson won't get a ton of respect. He's only thrown about, I don't know, 30 innings or so this year. But I mean, he's been effective in those 30 innings. I'm going to back him here and give him a shot. He's been solid. This Yankee lineup struggling a bit, and anytime you can get the Yanks or the Red Sox at this price, I'm going to probably buy in. They're good against lefties as well. I think CC gets hit around here a bit.
Jeff, and much anticipation tonight heading back to the city of New York. The Mets come home triumphant, so to speak, after their great series against the Washington Nationals. So what do you do when you get home, Jeff, after getting thumped by your division rivals, the laughing stock of the league? You go and put Jason Vargas on the mound at home versus the Atlanta Braves. Opened up, Jeff, at Pinnacle 163, Chris at 165, but you get some movement back, Jeff. Intertops minus 150, 5 dimes minus 155. Bet online at minus 150, despite 71% of the tickets here, Jeff, on the Braves. Jeff, sharps all over the Mets. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this song and dance before. I mean, how else do you really say it? Donnie, the New York Mets this year at home as an underdog of plus 125 to plus 175. They're 0-10. They haven't won a game at this price. They're also 4-21 over the last 25 at this price number. Listen, I mean, the Mets are at absolute the lowest form of losing you could be at. I don't know how it gets any worse if you're the Mets. They're hitting 211 at home this year, and now they're facing Fulton Avich, who has struggled a bit, but I think this is
Yeah.
a great team to come out with and face when you are struggling. Fulty's been good on the road. I hate to be square here, but Mets run line looks pretty good. But I probably won't, or Braves run line looks pretty good, but I probably won't be on it just because I feel like everybody and their mother will be also.
Yeah, Faulty not the great. I mean, not the greatest splits there. Vargas 4.42 xFIP at home. Faulty 4.07 xFIP on the road, Jeff. But if you're taking a look at like weighted on base average, trying to hold the other team down, Vargas at home, Jeff, a 356 weighted on base average. That means Atlanta, and we're not talking about like when you say like, well, how can you even it out? Like when the Padres come to town, they don't hit very well. You say, well, maybe Vargas can fool them and miss some bats out there. Tough to miss the Atlanta bats, Jeff, when they're full go 1 through 8, especially when you struggle as is at home, just getting people out. And we're not talking about, Jeff, where he plays in Yankee Stadium. He plays over there in Citi Field, which is more of a pitcher's ballpark, and he's getting lit up in the situation. I know it's kind of heavy. You're paying over $150 per $1.50 for a road team in this one. But what did the Mets give you credit for? Like, what are you going to say? You know what? I'm going to bank on the Mets rolling out here. They don't hit very well. Their starting pitchers on the mound is garbage. Their bullpen's not very much. Their manager is an absolute moron. And do they even give a damn if they win? So don't you have to start looking sometimes as we flip the calendar, Jeff, to August and say the the Braves are every bit in it. I mean, forget about saying where the Nationals will be if they can come back and playing, picking up a couple wins, or the Philadelphia Phillies. Like the Braves have to win this game. The Mets are out there like, dude, I don't want to get hurt tonight.
We move on to the NFL, Donnie. We got about 10 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
We take a look at the Cincinnati Bengals, our next team to take a look at 7-9 last year. And yes, Marvin Lewis is back again for another year.
Jeff, they won 6 games 2 years ago, 7 games last year. Why wouldn't he be back? They dominate.
It's one of the great mysteries in sports and how Marvin Lewis continues to steal from this team. But I think we all know they're cheap and they don't want to hire anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, Donnie, think of it like this. If you go to a restaurant, right, and they continuously serve you your food wrong, how many times are you going to go to that restaurant again?
Yeah.
You might give it a second chance, but after that second chance, it's like, I mean, how many goddamn times are you going to get this goddamn order wrong? But
I guess they're lucky, Jeff, that they're in Cincinnati like that. Just to get a quick point in there, like their front office and how cheap they are. I guess Cincinnati just takes what they take at this point. Like that wouldn't fly in a lot of major cities out there where basically when you look at like the class picture, so to speak, Jeff, of the front office, it's all of Mike Brown and his family up there. It's just sickening to me.
We look at their offense. Obviously, AJ Green, big time player. You need him to be in there and be healthy. Listen, we're not going to fall on that crutch of if they stay healthy. Look, that's every team in the league. Other than that, though, I mean, you have John Ross, you have some young receivers. You hope that Tyler Eifert can also keep that health in check. There's some weapons. There's not a ton of weapons. Sanu's gone. You have some guys, that need to step up. I mean, now that those guys are gone a year or two now, you need to start to find someone else to be that second receiver or that third receiver. Could John Ross be it? Maybe Tyler Boyd, someone like that. You have to find that second or third option in the receiving core. Eifert and Green will give you the up-tempo, great numbers, but you're going to need some other guys to do something as well. Look, I like their offensive line all of a sudden. I thought that was a big concern going into last year, but you look at adding in Cordy Glenn on that left side, bringing in Billy Price, a guy from the Big Ten that can play multiple positions. I think that's important. Andy Dalton, we know he's a good regular season quarterback, but I think we all were well aware if they get to the playoffs, he doesn't win. The running game's okay, I guess. Defensively, I think they have a lot of talent. I think they drafted really well. I think they drafted and got rid of people that maybe they should have. They move on from Pac-Man Jones. That's kind of out of here. Hopefully Vontaze Burfict can teach Malik Jefferson about some good things to do in the NFL. This is a good football team on the defensive side. A lot of talent, good depth. I like some of the moves they made in that draft, like I said. But the real big question is, Donnie, will Marvin Lewis ever win? I don't think he will. So therefore, I'm going to just be very obvious and say I think they're 7-9 or 8-8, if that. This is what the Cincinnati Bengals are, and until they make some moves forward, I'm not interested in getting behind them.
Yeah, it's the same old song and dance with Cincinnati, Jeff. Are they talented? Yes, but aren't you just waiting for the same exact things to happen? Because the coaching, the ownership, the coaching, the front office, it doesn't change. The MO of your team doesn't change. Don't we expect the stupid ass penalties out there? And you want to talk about a team lowering their head? They got a couple guys out there that just spear all game long. Are they going to get 30, 40, 50 yards in penalties just from spearing people or lowering their head? They're not the smartest on defense out there. And then when we take a look at the offense again, we're just waiting for Andy Dalton to make the mistake, aren't we? He always makes the mistake out there. From a talent perspective, I actually like the way Cincinnati goes about drafting, taking talent, because they have a massive. I mean, AJ Green at wide receiver, very good. I like LaFell as the number 2. They whiffed on. I mean, to be honest with you, Jeff, I thought Ross would be more in that Deshaun Jackson type mold. That guy's insignificant off the field and not performing at all, which is really a mystery out there because he's an electric talent. But I guess he just doesn't have the head for an NFL game. But wouldn't you want to just change the voice at the top? Like, get Marvin Lewis out of there and get like a young hotshot offensive coordinator come in and shake it up and bring in a new defensive coordinator, a new defensive mindset on defense that says, hey, look, we're going to be fast and physical, but let's play some smart football out here. You see it a lot when you change the head coach, you change the culture, and you can get a lot more out of the players you already have. They're already setting their malaise coming into camp. We know we're going to get out of the defense. Very physical, very stupid at times. They're going to keep in the games. But again, it always gets back to the point, Jeff, when you look at Andy Dalton out there and it's first and goal at the 10, you're biting your knuckles and your fingernails when he drops back to pass because you're waiting for A, a stupid interception, or B, he's going to fumble because somebody's going to track him down and knock the ball out from behind. Until they change things up in coaching, I can't buy into the Bengals, even though you're right, Jeff, they're talented, man.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their season. They start out. You got to really hope you can go 2-2 here. You start out with the Colts or Ravens, winnable games, particularly the Colts. You lose to the Panthers. You lose to Atlanta. You beat Miami. I just see a lot of win one, lose one, win one, lose one. You play the Bucks. You get the Browns twice. You get the Oakland Raiders. I mean, there's some winnable games here. By the way, Donnie, just saying this, the Oakland Raiders are going to be awful this year. Mark that down. They're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They're dreadful. They're a dreadful team. And what a dreadful coach, what a dreadful defense. I can't wait till we can talk about Oakland. I cannot wait to talk about the Raiders. Mark that down. They're going to be very poor. But, Donnie, let's wrap it up. Bengals, we'll wrap it up with that. A murmur. We don't give a fuck about the Bengals because they ain't gonna win many games, and they're gonna lose a lot of games. They're gonna win some, they're gonna lose some. They're basically insignificant, like Donnie said. They're 7-9, 8-8. Donnie, what's the percentage that we make the playoffs?
Percentage to make the playoffs, I'm going to put that I mean, it's the NFL, so I'll put it at 20%, Jeff.
I was going to say 20, 30%.
Yeah.
Just because I do like a lot of the talent they have. But it's Andy, it's Marvin Lewis. Get rid of Marvin, move on to someone else. That'll wrap it up. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Always fun to chat with all of you. Everyone have a great Thursday afternoon. Europa League up today. Can't wait. About 40 games on the card. Looking forward to that. We'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow here on the right side of campus. Bye.